for our or my fellow Americans that are watching the channel, we could say Bitcoin just fumbled the ball at 111,000 after tagging 114,000. For my European friends, to make it more, I don't know, comfortable for you to really understand the analogy, Bitcoin controlled the possession all game, then gave it up in stoppage time. Or I would like to say Bitcoin had a clear shot at 114, but skied it into row Z after it broke 111,000. The question is, was that a bull trap before the next flush or a shakeout before the liftoff? Whatever analogy you want to use. Meanwhile, Ethereum coiling tight as the bears defend $4,200, and the altcoin market is still bleeding, waiting to whisper one word: rotation. Welcome back, Crypto Crew. It's your boy Tommy. I bring you the hottest in Bitcoin and crypto action. Please give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you have not already, and make sure you come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day, because we are crypto maniacs. I got a few things I'm going to address in the video. I've seen some comments. I want to address them. We're going to take them straight on, head on. We are not only just long here, we believe that overall Bitcoin is heading higher, but we are not crazy people, okay? That's why you got to get into our pro trading group. Yes, we do take shorts. Do we think it's collapsing back down to 40,000? Are you out of your mind? No, we don't. Now, if it does, which is highly, highly, highly unlikely, I would buy everything. I mean, I would mortgage the house. I would be going through my girl's purse, taking every piece of a penny I could find out of it to buy Bitcoin at 40,000. Because in the long run, this thing's going to the moon. All right, now let's break it all down. Now, of course, I'm not suggesting anybody do that. Don't rob your girlfriend or anything, or your boyfriend. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just making some talk, okay? So, because we're friends here, we could talk as friends. All right, so now, oh man, Bitcoin trading right at 107,008. It's this 107, man. It's been a sideways grind after last week's chop of volatility. Yes. The intraday range has been 107 to about 113,000. Now, yesterday gave you the point, and unbelievable, said that the main resistance was up at the top of this box. We needed to pop it, close above it, right? I also said, really, it would be great if we can get through 113. Don't believe me? Go back and watch the video, right? Said there's consolidation right here. We could pop up. We got to get through 111. Okay. Actually, no, it was actually this was later. I wanted to see 111,000 hold, because I told you in the video that if we popped through up to like 114, 111 had to be like the level that had to hold. That's why I'm trying to say that, Bitcoin had a clear shot at 114, but skied it into row Z. Or it also missed an open goal. And after it broke 111,000, we started to fade a little bit. Now, I am concerned about a couple of points on this chart, and I'm going to bring that up right now, okay? One, this area right here has acted as massive, massive resistance right here, okay? So that is top one. This has now become a double top on the shorter term time frame. Okay, not so much concerning really itself. The drop to this level right here, not good. Not good at all. In other words, by breaking this, creating this low, I don't like it. Don't like it. Thinking that we could actually come back down and test the 106. Not good. Okay, because that's opening the door to 103. Now, short term, okay. Why I'm concerned about it is because technically it's actually showing like some weakness. Now, the most important point on this chart is the actual $102,000 low. Now, I could argue the case that Bitcoin itself is doing what's called in a market law. It's basically saying it's covering the same ground twice. Markets have a habit of doing that. I've covered that in a previous video way back when I started actually doing the technical analysis for Merlin's group. I talked about like market laws. Markets can cover the same ground twice. I don't remember the exact video I did it on, but really that's what we're looking at right now. So as it stands, we got on the short-term chart, we got a double top. Not too good. Okay. We have a breakdown below our first initial like support level of 107. We came down to 106,780. The 106 is an important point to hold. It's this little pivot right here. If that breaks, we're heading back down to the 103. I do believe that these are good areas to pick up the coin with very, very tight stop losses on it. But you'd want some confirmation, right? So you'd want to see the market rally up off of that, and then a retrace, and then you can buy a fib level, right? If you're a buyer. If you're a seller, you had the resistance point right up here at 114. Man, if you would have taken that, I had resistance really at 113, like right there. We kind of blew up through that a little bit. But really, that was like the point. We said that box is so important. So, as it stands right now, am I saying it's going lower? Am I all of a sudden, getting ready to be the fat lady that sings? No, I'm just pointing out the blatant obvious. We're having a hard time right now because there's a couple of things that are going on, and I'm going to get through it. Remember, we have numbers coming out on Friday, right? So the market is a little nervous about that. Of course. So there are still people that are taking profits. They're actually going short. The bears are winning right now. The bears are winning. The only way the bears are going to actually capitulate is if we get above 118. All right. I don't think that there are many bears on our channel that went short at 126,000. I don't think so. I think that they probably potentially could have got short at like 117.6. After we broke the 118, they might have taken a stab at selling it, and yeah, great trade, right? All the way down to like you weren't getting anything at the 102, so like nobody got them there. If you say you got coin down at 102, I'm just have to say nah, I don't think that's true. I won't call you a liar to your face, but I'll just say I don't trust you. I don't think it happened. But anyway, as it stands right now, so what are we saying? Well, if we look at this thing is still hanging over our heads too. Double top storm cloud still in the marketplace. Okay. Now, this double top confirmation, is actually the main warning that we have. Okay. If we lose 106 on the weeklies, that's potential. Okay, that we're dropping back down to the 103, potentially even covering the same ground twice where you would be able to get some coin down here. All right, because nobody got coin down here. But so right now, as it stands, the 106 is a very, very important point. If we break through this 102, okay, then we're looking at that, we got the 100,000, and then we got the 98,000 or the $97,500 market gap. So that's why it's important. You get into our free trading community. We'll guide you through it. We'll give you some coins that you should look at. But as it stands right now, we're in a bit of a, quagmire. We'll get through it. I think that Bitcoin is actually, is in a liquidity trap. I'm going to cover that in a second. So really, we got this bad boy sitting on top, the double top, really that we need to get through 127. All right. So it's really make or break for the bulls. Okay. We've been defending this level like 5 times already. All right. Actually, like four times, I'll say, really. It's really where the bulls have been drawing the line, but support has held again. Okay. But buyers got stacked up in this level. But again, the sellers are fading, but big guns are still pushing. The black hats are still pushing. They want to break it. And again, we're going to say, just, they're looking to steal your bags. So, just get it, Get into our pro group. We'll help you out. Well, look, it's a little bit of a difficult time, and that's what trading is about, right? It's just not always blue skies, right? It's not always one direction. That's the beauty. The volatility is the beauty of trading. This whole thing is what makes it beautiful. Yeah, volatility is beautiful. I love it. I think it's the most beautiful thing I've seen since Heidi Klum. And I'm probably dating myself, but she's still hot. Heidi Klum is still hot. But anyway, so buyers are stacked down here. We got the big guns trying to push to break through. If the bears win, it's going to be lights out for a little while. If we can hold this line, 130,000 is next. Obviously, we got to get through 127. 127,000 is a monster level to get through. So I'm going to show you this. I think this is very, very cool. Bitcoin is actually trapped in what we're calling liquidity cage. And big volume profile. This is big volume profile on the chart. That's the name of the indicator. Big volume profile. I'm sorry. Buyer's volume profile, not big volume profile. Buyer's volume profile is the name of the indicator. So we got resistance stacked right now at 117, 118. Support laid right around 104, 106. The order book is quite thick. A breakout or a breakdown is going to be nuclear. That's why that 103 is really important. This level right here is so bloody important for us. Because if this starts going, the structure is breaking. It's changing. I went over market structure yesterday, okay, where I said, all right, look, we have this low. We got this high. We got a higher low. We got a slightly higher high. We got a higher low. Boom, we got the breakout. Bloody heck, this should have held. It didn't. I don't like that it didn't do that. As a trader, I'm like, I don't like that. That's still showing weakness. Now, what do I want to see? What I want to see right now is what's been the low? 106.7. We need to get through 110. We need to rally back above 110 and hold that low. If we can't, we are going to drop lower. That's why I say get into our pro group. We'll help you out with the setups. All right. So we are still in Bitcoin's favorite quarter, man. I mean, we gave you this. We got that damn thing hanging over our heads. We got to make a break right here, as I just went over. We got right here where we're showing you, the profile of this whole thing. Right here, it's a buyer's volume profile. It's showing the deepness of the marketplace. Okay, now we're in Bitcoin's favorite quarter. When we come over right here, this is the favorite quarter. Q4 is generally where history is made. It's not being made easy right now. Okay. In 2024, Bitcoin rallied 80% in the same window. It's not a random thing. It's a cycle, right? And the cycle, yes, the cycle is grinding. Yeah, it is. I know it's difficult. All right. I'm going to have the bears today for sure. Tom, warm up that singing voice. Yesterday, I'm sure they were a little nervous when we broke up through 114 or touched 114. They're probably saying, because a lot of people are going 118 that laugh out loud. Why would you laugh out loud at 118,000? Why would you say that's ridiculous? No, truly, yeah, you're right. If we're truly in a bear market, you got a right to say it. But really, when we're only right now 10,000 away from it, Bitcoin has an average daily delta of 6,000. Now you would be absolutely correct to say okay, you're a bear. You don't believe that it's going back up there. You're going to be selling every rally there is. Okay, then I would eat crow. Definitely. Definitely. But really, just say laugh out loud 118. Why? Why say that? I mean, now, if I would have said something like, we need to break 145,000, then you could give the laugh out loud because we've never even been there before. So, all right. I could see that. There's another thing also. A bunch of guys and gals, could be gals. I don't know. I don't know who they are by their handle, but they're talking about every Elliott wave. Where it's definitely the Elliott wave patterns in where we're sinking. I see Elliott wave, and I know Elliott. I know Elliotticians, And I got to say one thing about Elliotticians, in my experience, because I'm not a true Elliottician myself, but I understand Elliott wave theory. Fibonacci is riddled throughout Elliott wave. And I am a big Fibonacci advocate. I'm also a Fibonacci wave advocate myself. It's a system that I kind of developed where I can get actual points based off of Fibonacci levels and go from there. But the point that I'm trying to make is, when I had Elliotticians in my trading room, I had 4 of them. And if I gave them all the same chart and put them in 4 different rooms, I would come up with 4 different places we are on the whole Elliott wave thing. So because it's subjective, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. So you could point to any Elliottician you want and say, oh, we're down, it's over, the top's in, and we're going into the ABC correction. I don't know. I don't see that. Well, and then the other guys, where's the inverse head and shoulders? Where's the cup and handle? Dude, it's still in play. Those were longer term chart patterns. They're still in play. I said it before. You know, you guys are the greatest, man. I love all of you. Okay, please just keep writing comments. I do enjoy it. This is the whole idea, right? We're having fun. We're actually coming up with ideas that we can share and talk about. So anyway, the Bitcoin, we can see, look, this is the favorite quarter, as I said. Now, we could say the countdown has begun, either plus or minus, really, okay? But we're thinking that it's going to go higher. Okay, so now, here's what's key here, all right? Here's what's key. And if we look at it so far, what's happening here is buyers keep defending like the 107,000, 106,000. That's the liquidity shelf right now. Fed's latest comments hinting at a crypto-friendly reform tone helped calm the nerves for a little while. Risk assets caught a small bid. That's what we saw yesterday. Where we jumped up, and then all of a sudden, like I said, we missed the goal when we broke that 111. Not good. Not good. Don't like that we came down to 106.7 either. Don't like it. Thinking that we could actually potentially come down deeper. Okay? But watch out. Again, also don't like it. Double top formation on this 2-hour chart. Top here, top here. Not good. So we got double top structure hanging right around 114,000. It's like a dark cloud. So if Bitcoin can't break above that cleanly, we can expect the test, as I'm just saying, right back down to the 104 before any real push upside. That's what I'm saying. All this, I'm not freaking out. I'm not saying we're going down to 90. I'm not saying that yet. I'm just saying that if we can't get above this, and the test will be by Friday, we're gonna sink. It's going to consolidate deeper. Now, the big picture, it's still bullish medium term. Now we got the dollar index that's kind of softening a little bit. The liquidity is creeping back, and those conditions historically feed Bitcoin rallies. But remember, I told you, you got to keep your eye on this guy, dollar yen. It's unbelievable. Okay, here was the high that we had back on October 9th. Market came down to the support point 149, rallied back up. Now we're at resistance again in dollar yen, right up in this area here and also here. Here's another point right up in here. Now, here's the key. Even if dollar yen continues its upward movement, its upward rally, then you got to look at the euro dollar and you got to look at the sterling dollar. Okay, if they're holding the line, that means the dollar index is kind of like just stable. If they start to rally a little bit against dollar yen, the weakness of the yen, that's good too. That means the dollar index itself is cooling off. If they start falling in proportion to this, then the US dollar index is getting stronger. And that's not going to help Bitcoin. But I think there will be an overflow from like gold cooling off or silver cooling off to flow into Bitcoin. Now, right now, gold is trading right at what? What is gold at right now? Is it below? Gold futures I got up. It's 4,000. Hang on here. Let me see if I can find gold. Let me see. Where's gold? Yeah, gold is at 4,070 bucks. It's off its highs. Silver's at what is silver at? 48. So that's actually helping us right now. So let's say, for instance, the dollar index still continues to climb, which is not generally good for like cryptocurrencies. But if gold cools, that's good for us. So you got to keep your eye on gold. So a lot of stuff to keep your eye on. That's why you got to come into our pro group because we do this stuff for you. All right, let's get on to Ethereum. Another one, Ethereum, man. Ethereum itself right now, it's got some quiet strength. We got a bullish pennant pattern that's still on the monthly, still in the works. Ethereum is holding around 3,800 bucks. It's lagging Bitcoin slightly, but showing relative stability. Now, their support has been around 3,800, has been defended multiple times. So we could say it's kind of an accumulation range right now. But the main support for Ethereum, I feel, is around 3,600. So I'm thinking the accumulation zone is still in play, 3,006 to 3,800. Resistance, 4,000 to 4,100. Now, the bears have been defending this 4,200 like mad. So I'm thinking if we can get a daily close above 4,100, that would spook the bears. They would get out. And then we could see a rally back towards 4,500. Now, Ethereum itself, we're thinking is in a three-step launch sequence. And, you're going to have to, you got to understand it, okay? This is like weekly, so it's longer term. So, step one, this movement downward is a slow bleed. You got the recovery, everybody thinks it's a breakout. Then you get to step two, where it's the retrace, where everybody thinks it's coming back down to the lows and potentially even break lower, right? Because people don't react, they don't sell this, they basically sell this. That's just the way it is. Then two, so we could say this is step two is the shakeout, right? And then step three is where they catch everybody's short hairs and there's a rally. So we're seeing the same type of situation. Okay. Again, right here, slow bleed, right? Up to the top. Everybody's thinking the breakout's occurring. And then you get the same situation again, brutal shakeout again. Oh no, we're going back down towards the lows, and then boom. Right there. So in 2020, it triggered really a 45x rally. All right. This time, we're launching from the low of 1,500. If you look at down here, we were launching from the low of 82 bucks. That's a significant difference. So this is the ignition phase we're thinking that's going to take Ethereum up to 5 digits. You got to be a little patient, okay? So on-chain data shows Ethereum outflows from exchanges. That's usually a good sign of long-term holders accumulating. Now, if we look at gas fees are starting to normalize. Developers and DeFi projects are getting active again, quietly becoming bullish. So if we look at the good old Ethereum rainbow chart, where are we? Every major bottom was in a blue color. Every top is red. Right now, it's still in the still cheap territory. So just get into our group. We'll tell you when to get in. We got trade setups on Ethereum, and we got a lot of trade setups, so get in there, man. All right. So we're still thinking Ethereum is still cheap. Okay. It's not overheated. It's not, done. It's not time to exit. It's time to actually start to accumulate, to start to front run the next leg. All right. Altcoins. I'm so tired of altcoins. But before we do that, we got to look at Bitcoin dominance, right? Because that's the key. Bitcoin dominance is still bloody high. It's back up again. It's at 59.72. We got to get below 57 and a half to actually start this party going, okay? So right now, here's where it gets interesting though, okay? We got Bitcoin dominance is up, yet still, we got some things that are forming. The numbers are starting to start to say that, alts are picking up steam. We got Solana that popped 1% today. Early rotation flow, okay? XRP, ADA are showing rising volume and a bullish options spike. Now, XRP Army, you're going to have to stay tight. It's going to be a little while before you get back up to that $3 handle, but hang tight. As long as you don't lose 217, you're okay. If you lose 217, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem, and yeah, definitely. You don't want to lose that handle. That's for sure. So you're sitting right now at 248. All right, so you got to stay grounded because obviously it's not full alt season yet. Bitcoin dominance is very elevated, meaning big money is keeping it conservative right now. When that dominance starts to roll over, that's when the alts are really going to ignite. So for now, we can just consider this, accumulation phase. We can actually look at the marketplace itself, the altcoin market cap itself. The fear zones down in here, this is all fear. They create the opportunity for us. Okay, it's when the retail panics and the big guys, the big guns accumulate. Okay, so the brave by the quiet nature of the marketplace. And put tight stops. You just don't go all in, But this is really how generational wealth is built. You got to have the courage to buy when there's blood in the streets. There's blood in the streets right now. Absolutely. Over and over again. Okay? So the Fred's, the Fred, too much espresso. The Fed's friendlier stance towards crypto services gave the market a subtle tailwind. Okay, not full blown yet. Risk on mood is still tentative, but liquidity conditions are starting to improve globally again. Need the Fed rate cut. Okay. If we see another dip in the US dollar index, or you got to keep your eye on ETF inflows, you can expect Bitcoin and Ethereum to break higher and pull the alts with them. So basically, the engine is just warming up. It's very, very cold temperatures out there. So it's going to take some time before the heat actually kicks on in the car. If you want to use a car analogy, now I don't know if you guys have those electric cars. I don't know how those things work. I guess you have electric heat, so heats up a lot faster. But real accumulation comes once Bitcoin breaks 115. And Ethereum clears the 4,100 with some conviction. All right, before we wrap up, crew, I got to tell you how you get involved in our free trading community. Right here, link in the description. Click this link right there. You'll be taken over to our site. It's totally free to join. We drop insane alpha trading opportunities every day, breakout setups, long-term gems. We got you covered. Listen, it's a really cool place to be. All right, it's a place to hang out, discuss ideas, have fun. It's really cool. All right. If you've been watching, if you've been in there and you've seen our recent trade setups, we had some real great winners. With of course we had some losers, right? But we made much more than we lost so far, and that's the whole object of the game, right? Our job is not to avoid losses; it's actually to control them, right? So that's what we're about. So if you just want to get a solid broker, right? You could trust our partner, WeX, right there. Low fees, fast execution, perfect for our strategies. Okay, we have another one, BTCC's given away, $500 US dollar giveaway. Another great broker, low fees, fast execution, also perfect for our strategies. Look, the most important thing you need is really a good broker. You can't have bid offer spreads that you could drive a tractor trailer through. You need tight spreads and you need fast execution. Both of these brokers offer that for you. So if you want to lever up your trading, get involved with a good broker, get a good trading platform, a good charting platform as well, and you might really want to think about getting TradingView. It's the best out there. All right, so to sum everything up, we got Bitcoin that is stable right now at 108,000. Ethereum still, coiling at the support zones. It needs the bears are really, really defending the 4,100 mark. We got to get through that. We got altcoins are starting to flicker some light. We're not near full ignition yet, but all the conditions are quietly aligning. Just got to be patient. Stay focused. Remember, in crypto, the real money's made before the crowd even notices the move. So that's why you got to really consider joining our group. All right, so that's the value. If you got any value from this update today, make sure you smash the like button, drop a comment with your favorite alt setup, and share the video far and wide with your trading buddies. And remember, come on over to X. Follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. So what do you got to do? Well, you got to join our free group, right? Next thing you got to do, you got to trade with your head not over it. Don't over leverage yourself. You got to do your own research. As you know, I am just a trader like you. I'm not a financial advisor. And also, as a short-term trader, you got to enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.